What if the biggest reason your body feels stiff right now has nothing to do with your age? What if the real problem isn't that you're getting older, but that your muscles have simply stopped responding the way they used to? And what if I told you that fixing most mobility issues doesn't require complicated workouts, expensive equipment, or exhausting routines? It requires something far simpler: holding still. That sounds completely backward, doesn't it? We've been taught our entire lives that movement fixes stiffness. Stretch more, walk more, exercise more, push harder. But what if the key to unlocking your mobility is not more movement, but smarter tension? Researchers publishing in the British Journal of Sports Medicine analyzed hundreds of controlled trials and found something surprising. Exercises where you hold a position without moving, known as isometric holds, produced greater improvements in joint stability and functional mobility than many traditional stretching routines. And here's where it gets interesting. Another study conducted through the Mayo Clinic found that adults over 60 who performed specific isometric holds for just 10 minutes per day improved overall mobility significantly within 8 weeks. These are not elite athletes. They were everyday people who struggle with stiffness, tight hips, and lower back discomfort. So what's really happening here? The real issue behind most mobility loss after 60 isn't just muscle tightness. It's neuromuscular control. Over time, your brain becomes less efficient at activating certain muscles, especially at specific joint angles. Your body compensates. Other muscles take over. Imbalances form. Stiffness increases. You don't lose mobility because you aged. You lose mobility because certain muscles stop being used properly. And when a muscle stops being used properly, the brain gradually forgets how to recruit it. This is where isometric holds become powerful. When you hold a position under tension, you strengthen the muscle at its weakest angle. At the same time, you retrain the nervous system to recognize that position as stable and safe. You're not just stretching tissue, you're teaching your brain control again. And that changes everything. Today, I'm going to walk you through 5 isometric holds ranked from helpful to absolutely essential. Each one addresses a different mobility problem that affects adults over 60. And the number 1 hold may surprise you, because it doesn't even target your hips or legs. Let's begin. Number 5, the wall sit hold. At first glance, it looks simple. You lean against a wall and sit as if you're sitting in an invisible chair. But what this position does internally is remarkable. As we age, the quadriceps, the large muscles at the front of your thighs, weaken faster than many other muscles. When your quads weaken, your hips and lower back begin compensating during daily movements. That compensation creates tightness, instability, and discomfort. Research published in the International Journal of Sports Physical Therapy showed measurable improvement in functional sitting and standing ability in older adults performing controlled isometric leg work. The wall sit strengthens your quads at the angle most used when rising from a chair. And that's critical, because difficulty standing up is one of the earliest markers of mobility decline. To perform it, stand with your back flat against a wall. Walk your feet forward about 2 feet. Slide down until your knees bend to a comfortable angle. They don't need to be perfectly parallel. Comfort matters more than depth. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds. Focus on steady breathing. Over time, work toward 60 seconds. Do this daily. Within a few weeks, you'll likely notice getting up from chairs feels easier. Now, let's move to number 4, the glute bridge hold. There's a phenomenon called gluteal inhibition. It means your glutes, the most powerful muscles in your body, are not activating properly. When that happens, your lower back and hamstrings take over. That's one reason so many adults experience persistent lower back tightness. A study in the Journal of Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy found high rates of glute activation deficits in older adults during walking patterns. The glute bridge directly addresses this. Lie on your back, bend your knees, press through your heels, and lift your hips until your body forms a straight line from knees to shoulders. Now here's the key. Squeeze your glutes deliberately. Hold that contraction. This reawakens dormant muscle fibers. Start with 20 seconds. Repeat 5 times. Consistency here can change how you walk, stand, and climb stairs. Now number 3, the supported deep squat hold. Many cultures around the world use deep squatting as a resting posture, but most adults over 60 have lost this ability. Research in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology has linked lower body functional capacity to long-term health outcomes. The deep squat restores mobility simultaneously in ankles, knees, hips, and lower back. Use a sturdy support like a door frame. Lower yourself into a squat as far as comfortable. Keep your heels down. Hold for 30 seconds. Gradually increase. This position gently exposes tight areas to controlled tension. Over time, your body adapts. Now number 2, the standing hip flexor isometric stretch. Years of sitting shorten the muscles at the front of the hips. Short hip flexors pull the pelvis forward. That creates lower back compression. Stand in a staggered stance. Tuck your pelvis slightly. Shift forward until you feel a stretch in the back leg's hip. Now press that back foot into the floor gently without moving. Hold tension for 30 seconds. This contract-relax method triggers neurological release. Finally, number 1, the doorway chest and shoulder hold. This may surprise you. The most important mobility hold for adults over 60 is not for your legs. It's for your upper body. Forward shoulders and tight chest muscles alter your entire posture. They shift your center of gravity forward. They limit spinal extension. They even affect breathing. Research published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity found posture-focused interventions improve whole-body mobility markers in older populations. Stand in a doorway. Place your forearms on the frame. Step forward slightly. Press your arms into the frame gently for 20 seconds. Relax while holding the stretch. Repeat. Over weeks, your posture improves. And when posture improves, everything else improves. Hip movement feels freer. Lower back strain decreases. Balance stabilizes. Here's what matters most. None of these exercises are extreme. None require equipment. None require gym memberships. But they require consistency. 10 to 15 minutes per day. That's it. Within 8 weeks, measurable change is possible. Your body is not fragile. It is adaptable, even after 60, especially after 60. The real question is not whether this works. Research suggests it does. The question is whether you are willing to commit to small, daily actions. Because mobility is not about intensity. It's about repetition. It's about reminding your nervous system what it once knew. Your body remembers how to move well. You just have to teach it again. Start today, not with intensity, not with fear, but with intention. And watch what happens over the next 2 months. Because stiffness is not destiny. It's a signal, and now you know how to respond to it. If this resonated with you, reflect on one question. Which daily movement has quietly become harder over the past few years? Standing? Climbing stairs? Turning your head? That's where you begin. Small holds. Consistent practice. Gradual transformation. Your future mobility is built one still moment at a time. And it starts now.